Hey, this is Mr. Easton with Homework Help. Today we're going to be talking about ratio tables. This is something that is going to be started in maybe 4th grade, maybe even 3rd grade when students are there, but since this is new for 5th grade, this is going to be new for 5th graders. Ratio tables are just ways to keep track of numbers that maybe have the same ratio. So I'll give you a couple examples here, and then I'm going to show you how we're using it to solve some problems. So if you look at the chart here, we have price on the top and we have pounds on the bottom, and we know that every 5 pounds is $6. So that ratio is going to stay the same no matter how many pounds we have. So if we change the poundage, the price is going to change, and it's going to change in a very specific way. So if I were trying to figure out something like 10 pounds, well, since I went from 5 pounds here to 10 pounds here, I multiply by 2. So if I do that to the poundage, I also have to do that to the price. So if it's $6, I'm going to multiply that by 2, and I'm going to end up with $12 for the granola, or for whatever we're, adding up. So I could also do, if I wanted to do 20 pounds, I can double my 10 to get to 20, so I'm going to double my 12 to get to 24. Okay? So again, what we're looking at here is we're looking at the relationship between the poundage and keeping that same relationship between the price. So if my pounds are going up by multiplying 2, then my money is going to go up multiplying by 2. If my pounds go up multiplying by 8, my money would have to go up multiplying by 8. So I'll show you one quick example of that now. So now if I want to increase my poundage by something more than double, maybe I want to make 30 pounds, I want to see how I am going from 5 pounds to 30 pounds multiplicatively, which means using multiplication. So from 5 to 30, I am multiplying by 6, which means I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the top. I'm going to multiply by 6. So 6 times 6 will be $36. So price would be, for 30 pounds of granola, $36. Okay? So that was just a quick explanation of how ratio tables work. Basically, whatever you do to the bottom, you need to do to the top. And then, similar to finding equivalent fractions. We are now going to look at some problems that we're going to be solving on the next page. So keeping the same ratio of $6 get you 5 pounds of whatever we're buying, we're going to use this to figure out a different pound number. I'm thinking maybe we use this to figure out what 11 pounds would cost. So we're going to try to figure out 11 pounds here. We're going to use this table to help us. So what we're going to think about is, how can we take these 5 pounds and help us make 11 pounds? And you first might think, well, 11 pounds would be 10 pounds plus 1 more pound. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what 1 pound would be. So if I'm going to turn my 5 pounds into 1 pound, this time, I'm going to erase that and try that again. This time I'm not multiplying, I'm dividing. Okay? So I'm going to be going from 5 to 1, dividing by 5. Which means the same thing I'm going to do at the top. I'm going to divide by 5. So since I divided my 5 by 5, I'm going to divide my 6 by 5 as well. Just like because if I do divide by 5 on the bottom, I got to do it on the top. So I got to do 6 divided by 5. I know that 5 divided by 5 is 1, so I got to split that $1 up into 5 equal groups. That'd be 20 cents. So I am looking at $1.20 for 1 pound. So now I can take that dollar and I can make it into 10 pounds. So I'm going to turn my 1 into 10, and that would mean I'm multiplying by 10. I'm going to take my $1.20, multiply that by 10. So $1.20 times 10 is going to be $12. So Now I'm going to look at the pieces of information I have and how that's going to relate to my answer. So I am going to look at 10 pounds and 1 pound, because if I add both of those together, I'm going to get 11 pounds. So I can add the prices together and get the next number. So I'm going to add my 120 and my 12. $12 plus $1.20 is $13.20. And that would be how I figure out what 11 pounds cost if 5 pounds costs $6. We're going to look at one more. Now this is getting to be a long video, but I wanted to make sure you have plenty of chances to see how this works. So in this last example, I'm actually going to find a fractional amount instead of a whole number amount. This time I'm going to find something like 1/4 of a pound. And so I'm going to go ahead and write that 1/4 in here, and we're going to discuss how you do it. So what I'm thinking is, if I want to figure out a fractional amount, I need to get back down to that $1 whole or that 1 whole pound amount first. So we can use the same logic as before. 1 pound is going to be $1.20. Okay. So the next thought, and that's because I divided by 5. The next thought is, how do I turn 1 whole into 1/4? What am I going to divide 1 whole by to make 1/4? And that would be dividing by 4. 1 divided by 4 is 1/4. So I'm going to take my $1.20, I'm going to divide that by 4. So $1.20 split into 4 equal groups would be 30 cents each. Okay, so 1/4 a pound would cost 30 cents. And if the question were asking you something like 3/4, then all I would need to do would be to turn my 1/4 into 3/4 by multiplying by 3, and then I would multiply my 30 cents by 3 to get 90 cents. So this is definitely a new strategy. It's something that is new for me as well as you. I would encourage you to keep at it and keep practicing, and it will be something that will help you not only in the 5th grade, but also in middle school, because ratios are a big deal in middle school. This has been Mr. Easton with Homework Help. I will see you in class tomorrow.